Hey everyone, it's Tara. Welcome back to my channel. Today I just kind of want to chit chat about something that's kind of like been on my mind. There's not really a firm agenda here as to what I'm going to talk about. It's been a while since I've posted a discussion type video, just like a chit chat video, where I'm not talking about specific books, just like more of a bookish topic. And there's been some stuff on my mind, so I figured let's just do it. So lately I've been having this kind of, I don't want to say, I guess it's kind of like an internal struggle, but and I know this is a struggle, if you will, that pretty much I feel like most people within the bookish community have, and that is the whole owned books versus library books versus purchasing new books. When you purchase books, do you purchase new books or do you purchase used books? And I've just been thinking a lot about this. Obviously, the goal is to read the books that you own, right? That's the whole point of buying books is to read them, right? And it's something that I'm working on, and I have been utilizing Libby to just kind of help get through my TBR. So I basically, when I am looking for a new audiobook, for the most part, there are specific audiobooks that I choose to listen to at very specific times. But for the most part, when I'm ready for a new audiobook, I go to Libby and I just kind of scroll through what's available and find something that I own physically, that I have not read, so that kind of helps whittle down the books that I own. When I the entire read your bookshelf challenge for 2022, I pulled books off of my shelf for that. I'm using books that I own. For the books I want to read this year in 2022, I only chose books that I physically own. So I am trying to read books that I own physically, which I think is everyone's goal, but we all know how hard it is to do that. So that that's the goal. We all know that. Let's set that aside. So now, library. I always have, I always will use the library. Like I just said, I use the Libby app, which has been helping me whittle down my TBR. The library is an amazing place, and it has been such a huge part of my life growing up, and even now, I always have at least one book checked out from the library. Growing up, like I said, we utilized it a lot because they have DVDs, they have books, and for a family that did not have a lot of extra money to spend on books and movies, we used the library because the library was free entertainment for us. So I will always have a special place in my heart for the library. And I'm not saying I'm never going to use the library again. That's not going to happen. But what I've been struggling with is, first of all, when you go to the library, here's my question. Do you go looking for very specific books and only look at those books and that's it? And if they have those books, you check them out. If they don't, you leave. Because I've been trying to do that. To curb my book buying, I've been trying to use my library more. So there are books, I am reading through the Bake Shop Mystery series. I've been getting all of those books from the library. I've been putting books on hold, other next books in series that I'm trying to read. I've been putting those on hold. My book club, I've been trying to get those books from the library if I don't have them. But then I get into the library and I'm well, let me just see what new releases they have. And I look at those and I'm oh, let me just pick a random aisle and browse. And then I end up with 10 books at my house. I know I'm never going to read them in the 4 weeks that I have to read them. So they auto renew, but then I feel this pressure to read them. And I know just checking them out from the library, it helps the library out. Regardless of whether they you read them or not. They don't know if you read them. They know that you take them home, right? But that's been my struggle with the library, is if using them the way that I using the library the way that I should, which is checking out specific books and just getting those books, not browsing the shelves, which like I love browsing the library shelves. Oh my gosh, it's like I love it because it's like, oh, I can get any of these books. I have like unlimited amounts of books that I can take home. But then I'm stuck with like the same problem of I'm not even reading the books on my shelves. Why am I bringing home more books that I know I'm not going to read? Right? So then we get to the whole like purchase aspect of it. I have no self-control apparently when it comes to books, which again, I feel like is a thing that a lot of people here on BookTube and the bookish community can relate to. Like you walk into an independent bookstore, you're like, well, I want to support this independent bookstore, so I have to buy at least something. So I buy like something. I don't have anything specific in mind. I just buy something. Oh, well, there's this great sale at this used bookstore. I can get like a bag of books for $10. So of course I spend $10, get 20 books or whatever, but then I have 20 books on my shelf. Like 20 more books on my shelf, I should say, on top of the hundreds that I still haven't read. So like when you buy books, when you walk into a bookstore, first of all, do you buy new or do you buy used, or do you do like a combination? Because I'm really trying to cut down on my bookish spending, so I'm trying to buy used. However, there are lots of series that I am reading that are like have new releases out, such as the Sloane Krause series just released book 5.5. That was a Kindle, so that's like slightly different. The Literary Pub Mystery book 5 is coming out this year. Like, and I am reading those and I'm collecting those, so like I want to get them when they're new. Then I have like my like auto buy authors. Riley Sager has a book coming out. Ellen Hildebrand has a book coming out. Taylor Jenkins Reid has a book coming out. Christina Lauren has a book coming out. Emily Henry just had a book come out. Like, these are authors that I know I'm going to like their books and I want to own them. Oh, Ruta Sepetys, she just had a book come out in February. Like, I want to own those books and I want to buy them new. I want to be able to read it as soon as possible. Whether I actually read it as soon as possible, I don't know. But like, I want the ability to read it as soon as possible. So I buy those new. And I'm realizing now, maybe when I buy those new, I should be like, instead of pre-ordering them from Amazon, I should like pre-order them from like an independent bookstore or something like that, so that I'm at least supporting not Amazon. So maybe that should be my new goal. But just in general, when I like want to buy books, should I be buying new? Used? Like, should I I know a lot of, like, there's some people that I follow here on BookTube. Danny with Spinelli Speaks comes to mind because I know she has like explicitly said this on her channel, but I'm sure there's other people who like, Danny will not, in general, she will not spend more than like, I think it's $2. Maybe she has a limit of like what she will spend on a book. And obviously I'm sure she makes exceptions to that, but like if she is just like going and buying books, she will not spend more than $2 per book. Do I do that? Do you do that? Do you have like a like price limit on books? Do you make exceptions for that? I've just been like struggling because like I said, the goal is to obviously read the books that you have, but there's always going to be like instances where I want to purchase a book for whatever reason, whether it's the next book in a series or whether it's my like a favorite author of mine. I'm going to want to read those books somehow. Do I just focus on buying books? Like, the other thing I was thinking about is there are books like the Bake Shop Mystery series, for example, where I've been very good and I have not purchased a single one of those books. I do not own a single one of those. I've been reading them explicitly, like, or exclusively from the library. But I want to own them because I really love the series. Like, and I want to be able to support Ellie Alexander and her writing because I really enjoy it. But like, I don't own, do I spend the money on those because I know that I like them because I've already read them? Like, these are all the questions. And I'm sure we all like have these like internal struggles. Like, what do I do? And this was a very like rambly, like not well thought out like video. I literally just turned the camera on and started filming. But I'm just curious, like, do you have rules for yourself when it comes to like book buying, bookish spending in general? I know there are a few people. I know Tia has like a book buying ban this year, and she has like rules for her book of the month subscription. And I'm pretty sure Krista at Books and Jams has like she wants to have 6 months in 2022 where she does not buy any new books. So I know that like there are people again that I follow on BookTube who have kind of set these rules for themselves. Have you set rules for yourself when it comes to bookish spending? And like, what are they? Like, I'm just very curious as to what other people do, because like I feel like I don't go like terribly crazy. Like I said, there are books that I have pre-ordered this year, and I think I pretty much listed all of them. Or like the authors like that, like I follow them on social media. I know when they have books coming out, and I tend to pre-order those books. There are like series that I like that are older that like if I see them at a used bookstore, I will pick them up. Or authors that I see at used bookstores, or like that I'll pick up. Like if it's a book that I've heard people talk about, or authors that I've heard people talk about that seem interesting, I'll pick those up at used bookstores. I will say I do try, and when I'm going to a bookstore, like, so today, the day that I'm filming this is Wednesday, the Wednesday before Mother's Day here in the US. And I know that John and I are probably going to a bookstore on Sunday for a little bit. And I'm kind of like, I have like a mental list in my head of like what books to look for while I'm there, so that I can like, not just like browse and end up spending like $200 on books. Like, I feel like I try and do that when I know I'm going to a bookstore, or like a new bookstore, like whether it's Barnes and Noble or whether it's an independent bookstore. I do try and like have a game plan. Yeah, so honestly, I'm just curious as to what other people here in the bookish community do. Like, so let me know. Do you just say, I buy whatever I want whenever I want and spend whatever I want on it? Do you limit your spending? Do you have a book buying ban this year that you're sticking to? It's May, so like, how's that going if you do have a book buying ban? Do you have rules for yourself? Like, when you pre-order books, do you like always utilize Amazon, or do you try and utilize like independent bookstores? Do you have like any like other rules as far as like what type of stores you go to? Like, I've been trying to make a more like conscious effort to support like small businesses, especially with everything going on with like the economy, the pandemic, all of that. I've been trying to be better about like supporting, like shopping local. But the convenience of Amazon is just, it's just so convenient. So it's really hard, especially when it comes to pre-orders, to like not do it when I have the Amazon app like right on my phone, and I can just search it and pre-order it and it's done. So let me know all of those things down below. I'd be really interested. So that is really it for now. I just wanted to come on and have a quick little chit chat. So let me know all the things down below. That is it for now. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, happy reading. Bye.